6634 started off much the same as 6633 ended, full of joy, excitement and celebration. Although the recent passing of King Enger's brother Ser Owen had put a dampener on the celebrations, Enger insisted that the Great Sevensport tourney must still go ahead. Instead of in celebration of his coronation, however, it would now be in memory of the Knight of Greenstar. To honour his brother further, when a third son was born to Enger soon after his passing, he named him Owen in his memory. After weeks of exciting tilts, it is no surprise to anyone present that Sir Stefan Rosehart of the White Star is crowned the champion of Andalia. He crowns the king's niece Gretel Sevenstar, daughter of Jonquil, as Queen of Love and Beauty, as well as taking home the generous champion's purse. In the year of 6635, after being gifted the High Lordship of the Warrior's Watch and losing his lady wife, King Enger decides that Lord Rogar Rak should have a wife of high birth to match his new high status. It is then he is gifted the hand of Gretel Sevenstar, a beautiful yet dangerously ambitious young woman. They would go on to have a long and fruitful marriage, securing the Rak line for many years to come. 6635 ends with devastation for King Enger, as his lady wife Maria dies during childbirth. The babe, born very sickly, dies soon after, leaving the king, court and Sevensport in mourning for a moon's turn. The king is hit incredibly hard by this loss. He would never marry again, forever honouring his lady wife's memory. 6636 opened with a great tourney in the White Star, the seat of House Rosehart. The Lord and serial tournament champion Sir Stefan decides he will not compete, however, meaning a chance for someone other than him to finally be crowned an Andalian champion. It is the king's bastard brother and Lord of the Black Sheep Hills, Sir Harold Blackstar, that rises to the occasion to secure a great victory. His victory is short-lived, however, as on his way home to the Black Sheep Hills in late 6636, he and his escort are ambushed and murdered in the open hills of the Black Sheep lands. This could have been put down to chance, a random meeting with some outlaws or bandits on the road, the wrong place at the wrong time. However, just days later, Harold's young son and heir, the now new Lord of Black Sheep Hills, is also murdered by an unknown assassin. The culprits of the murders are never found. Although never close to his bastard brother and lacking much love for him, this loss still hangs heavy on King Enger after having so recently lost Owen, his wife and his newborn baby. 3 great years of peace and mourning followed. From 6636 to 6639, many of the new lands were peacefully, if slightly forcefully, converted to the faith of the Seven. New villages, towns and septs popped up all over Andalia, and Sevensport continued to grow at a rapid rate, becoming the trade capital of the north. Vast amounts of gold were invested into the military, nowhere more than in Oldcastle, as Lord Bloom pumps all his resources into creating a well-drilled standing army loyal to the crown. In the lands of the Hornwood, several great lumber yards spring up, supplying Sevensport and Maidensgate with vast amounts of timber to start work on a great Andalian fleet. Enger ended the year of 6639 by calling upon his banners for a planned invasion of the infamous Moat Cailin, so that he could fully secure his southern border, allowing him to focus his full attention on the enemy to the north. Enger would personally lead the assault, desperate after 3 years of solitude to escape life in the capital, to show his lords he was still full of power and ambition to expand Andalia. 6640 starts with the rise of Roose Lancer, the young northern knight to Lord of the Black Sheep Hills after several years of loyal and dedicated service. This was a smart move by Enger, as it showed the native Northmen that loyal service and obedience, as well as accepting the Andal way of life, would see them rise as high as the Andal lords. In 6641, Moat Cailin falls to Andalia after over a year of insufferable guerrilla warfare attacks from the native Crannogmen. They would rise out of the swamps in the dead of night to attack Enger's knights with poisoned darts and arrows, sabotaging his supply lines and set traps before finally melting away back into the neck. Many attempts were made to pursue the enemy, but very few of his men ever returned from the deadly swamps. Rebuilding work immediately begins on the ancient fortress, which had been allowed to deteriorate into a sorry state by the Starks. It is renamed from Moat Cailin to Sevensgard, a great Andal fortress with 7 tall towers for each of the gods. Sir Davos Redguard of the King's Knights is named as Protector of Sevensgard and Warden of the Neck. To celebrate once again a great victory, in early 6642 Lord Wilbert Josser of Whitford holds a great tourney. As is usually the case in an Andalian tournament, Sir Stefan Rosehart is crowned champion. This is the 6th time he had entered an Andalian tournament and the 6th time he had won. It is no surprise that in the future all tourneys in Andalia would be named the Rosehart in memory of his unrivalled skill. In 6643, a great new Lyseni trade port is opened in Sevensport. This would bring in a huge amount of trade and exotic products from across the narrow sea and from the far east. From this limited and most desired trade, the great Andal city and House Sevenstar would increase their wealth tenfold, the majority of which would be invested back into the kingdom.